But I think for advisors, it's always meeting clients where they are. I think a lot of times this is a thing that they do in some like assessments about personal behavior, which is if you're not aligning with like your clients or your workforce, right? It's actually almost impossible to change all of them, right? Like I actually don't have control over that. So if a client's coming in and they're focused on something, how do I then change what I'm doing, modify it to work within their mental constructs so I can get them moving in the direction that we want them to move in, right? So a lot of times it's asking the question, right? Like, what can I change about what I'm doing then? So if they're coming in and they're always focused on that, how do I pivot that to the conversation I want to have with them, right? And not kind of, as you said, 30 years of doing this, not expecting a different answer the next time somebody comes in, right? You're expecting it now. And, but I think for a lot of people, I try to get away from numbers, investments, strategies in a lot of the conversations. And it's about, how are you feeling? What are you worried about? What's going on in life? And certain things I think a lot of people ask, I think we were going to get better at asking these questions. I know I'm going on a little bit here, but here's a great example, right? A lot of people, the icebreaker questions, right? Oh, how are you doing? Well, that's actually a terrible question. There's research from Harvard showing it's a terrible question. You don't get real answers, right? Things like, how are you feeling today, right? That's a better question. What are you most excited about this week? Like, what's the most exciting thing about your week you're looking forward to? That actually elicits a better response. A lot of our generic questions, even the one that's like, hey, has anything new happened to you lately? A lot of advisors use that. It's actually, again, a really bad question. It's too broad. And people are like, oh, no, nothing real new. Well, 1,000 new things actually happen, right? Like we got to get a little bit more specific to get a little bit more specific of a question back. And I mentioned there's a Harvard Business Review article on this about how like they did a study of CEOs and other people, and that CEOs tend to be very good at asking more specific, meaningful questions to people. And so it's kind of allowed them to kind of relate with people more often than a general person does. So I think that's a great lesson for advisors when they're thinking about that. If they're focused on that, ask them a slightly more specific question.